Hello Minecraftians and YouTubians, this is Arykh Drakam here once again, with another Minecraft tutorial. Last one I made was of my vertical TNT cannon, the Thunderwell. This time I've gone on the other side and made something that would actually be helpful, not quite so destructive. So I have here two examples of automatic farms or auto farms, however you want to call it. Here is a spiral version. It's a 8x8 area, which is maxed out on what an auto farm, what I've managed to have an auto farm produce. But it's 8x8 per level, so every one of these levels will produce a 64 crop area, and with about 2 to 3 drop of wheat per one, that's a lot of wheat, and it doesn't stop. You can keep going and going and going, and that's the beauty of the automatic farm. So I'm going to give you guys a quick demo, and then we're going to go through and see how it works. A very simple switch, which will toggle it on and off. As you can see, the water will start, and that of course breaks the crops. Then it starts flowing, pushing all. What happens is, since there's only one, since there's a source block behind there, when you release that, it lets the flood out. And it'll just keep flowing, and then it'll hit the next level, which will keep flowing and keep flowing, and I believe you get the picture right now. So as you see, that's all the stuff we're going to collect out of this. So you just head back to the switch, turn it off, and the water disappears. Something important is that none of the crops, I mean, you can be careful when you're going to farm to harvest your stuff, but if you jump, it's kind of annoying to have to go back and repair every single crop place you messed up. So you just simply head back down here, going on the edge of the farm, and then you come down here to collection. Everything's all in one spot. Of course, I'm using creative mode, so you can't really see it, but it just filled up my entire inventory. Alright. So, and you can just keep building, you just keep making more levels until you hit bedrock, or go up to the sky. Either way. Alright, there's really, like, besides each of the levels, the only really do different things are the on and off switch, and the collection at the end. So you have here your basic area, pistons. Behind here, this is where your power comes from. It comes down here and activates all these. This will turn these torches off, which pulls pistons down, which lets the water flow. By the way, when you're making this, be very careful. One break of that block will have the water come down and ruin all your redstone. Has another trail coming off of it, which will trace back to the next one, turning that all off, etc., etc. And now, once it gets down to the collection, you can do various things you do for collection. What I did was, using the water I used to water the blocks, I just break that last one and let it flow. Then it comes to the center, and have it collect right here. Alright, so let's see how you make it. Alright, so this would be your floor or whatever you want. Right here is, no, I still need that one. Right here is where you would begin. This hole would be your crops. I use a blue and white pattern for tutorials. Makes it easier to count blocks. Almost done. Actually, I think it might be better to move it over just one more. This is just a single level, so it doesn't have to have the connector piece going down. Alright. So you have your 8x8 area. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2, 8. And there again. That's gonna be where you're gonna have your crops. Place that. So I'm gonna replace all these with dirt to help you better visualize it. Of course, I'm using creative mode, but this is also very possible using survival. Just find a flat area or make your own flat area. Once I get some better video editing material program, I'll be able to skip this part. You guys just see it automatically. There you go. Now you have your basic dirt area. Now it comes down to the redstone stuff. Give me back my wool block. Now you see here is the setting. I'm using that as reference. So I'm going to build my wall up. Of course, right here is kind of redundant because you're going to be getting rid of that later anyway, so I'm going to take that away. And of course, this wall, you kind of just do whatever you want with it. Like you don't have to have something covering the water in the end, but for me, it just makes it look cleaner. All right, so next I'm going to remove all this and replace it with the pistons. I used normal pistons instead of using sticky because they're a lot cheaper. You don't have to go out and find slime balls, and they're just a lot cheaper. If you want to make it look nicer, you can have it doing with pistons where it pushes a block up instead of having just a piston. Next you make the water chamber, I'd call it. Just the area back here that will make sure the water doesn't flow out. Now, so I can work on the redstone, I'm not going to put the water here right now. So I'm just going to leave that be for now. Alright, and your switch goes here. Let's see, is that right? Yep. So I'm going to carve all this out. Have one, break the one that's underneath here. See? There's the switch. That's the block, so when it's powered, it'll hit this. I'm going to bring it down. Now I'm going to go out and find my pistons. So right here. So I'm going to leave this edge. And there's 8 wide, so 5, 6, 7, 8. Next I need to get my redstone torch. Just place all of them down. Now let's get some repeaters. Off, of course, because there's no power going to them. And now trace some wire back to the on switch. Always helpful to have a repeater, just make sure nothing loses power. Now you have basic design. And that's all the rest you need for a basic 8x8 area. However, like this, you're not going to be growing any crops. So what you need to do next is carve out this area right next to the dirt. All the way down. Now you're going to need to get yourself a water bucket or a water source or whatever you're using. Place it right here at the beginning. Water only flows 8 blocks, so it will end right there. But however, all the crop the crop rows only have to be within 4 blocks of water. So even though this is the littlest amount of water possible, it'll still water all 4 of these rows. So now when you turn on the auto farm, you do not want the crops going in that water because you want it all going in one place. So come back and cover all this up. Then get your tool and line up all the stuff. As you can see, it's already starting to get watered. So you know that the water is working right. Alright, and now if you are a daylight farmer, which means you only let your crops go during the daylight, then you're done. However, most people want the crops growing all the time, so it doesn't take as long. Therefore, you add these blocks to the side. Get a torch. And put a torch on all these blocks. As you can see, the area is now well lit. Go find your seeds. I don't remember where I put mine. Here we go. Plant your seeds. Don't worry about it where you're planting the seeds is not watered yet, because it does take the ratio or random generator of Minecraft to water sometimes doesn't. It's not instant. So, but eventually, all this will be watered. And there you go. That'll keep growing, and you do still need to add your water back here. Now just hit the switch once all your crops are grown, and it'll all go and collect. Now, to take the redstone power and send it down to the next area. Now the next area is going to be drop 2 down, otherwise there's an issue with the water that I have not found out how to resolve yet. So I just dropped it down to level, and it works fine now. So this will be where the dirt of the next area will be. But since I don't need to do it all, I'm not going to.